Are you feeling that? The air is getting a little crisper, the leaves are crunching under your feet, which can only mean one thing: winter is just around the corner. I know, it seems a little too early to be talking about the white stuff. And here in Ottawa, let's be honest, winter doesn't exactly whisper in. It shows up with a snowblower and a parka. So today I'm going to walk you through exactly how to get your house ready for the cooler months ahead. Think of this as your friendly fall tune-up. No fancy tools, no contractor degree, just simple, practical steps that make a big difference. We're talking about the stuff that saves you money, prevents those oh moments that happen in January or February, and keeps your place cozy from the first frost to the last snowflake. Grab a coffee, maybe even a warm sweater, turn on the fireplace, and if you're a checklist person, grab a pen and a piece of paper too. We are going to cover everything from the top of your house to the bottom: your roof, your gutters, your doors, your windows, the heating system, even a couple of things most people forget about until it's too late. By the end, you are going to have a clear plan, zero guesswork, and a home that's ready to take on an Ottawa winter like a champ. Let's dive right in. Let's talk about why this really matters. Once that big first snowfall hits the Ottawa area, it's game on. There's no easing into winter, it just arrives, and suddenly your home is working full time to keep you warm and comfortable. Think about it. We spend so much more time indoors during those colder months, unless you love those outdoor sports. The furnace is running almost nonstop. Your roof is holding up piles of snow, and your windows and doors are your first line of defense against the wind and those freezing temperatures. Now, all of those systems, your roof, your insulation, your heating, they have to perform perfectly together. And even if one of them fails in January, you'll probably find yourself outside in minus 20 degrees trying to deal with a problem that could have been prevented weeks earlier. I've seen it happen. A homeowner ignores a small roof leak in the fall, and by February, there's water dripping into the living room. This is not the fun part. So the goal here isn't just about maintenance, it's about peace of mind. A few simple steps in the fall can save you a ton of stress, a lot of money, and possibly a few sleepless nights later on. And here's the thing: preparing your home for winter does not have to be complicated. It's not about overhauling your house, it's about being proactive, taking care of the small stuff now so it doesn't turn into big stuff later on, especially when it's minus 20 degrees. Think of it as your winter home readiness plan. Just like you'd get your car ready for the season with snow tires and a tune up, an oil change, your home needs that same kind of care and attention. So grab a pen, grab a notepad, and follow along. We are going to go step by step through everything you can do to make sure your home is safe, warm, and ready to take on another Ottawa winter. Let's start right at the top. Let's start with your roof. If you can do it safely, do it. Take a peek up there. Your roof is your home's first line of defense against everything winter throws at it: snow, ice, freezing rain, you name it. It's easy to forget about it, out of sight, out of mind. But it works hard every single day to keep you warm and dry. When you're checking your roof, look for cracked or missing shingles, bald spots where the granules have worn away, or any loose flashing around vents and your chimney. Basically, anything that looks like water could get in. Even a tiny gap can turn into a much bigger issue once the snow starts melting. Now, if climbing onto your roof isn't your thing, I'm not crazy about it, and for most people it's not, that's totally okay. You can grab a pair of binoculars and take a look from the ground, or better yet, hire a roofer to do a quick inspection. It's usually an inexpensive visit, And trust me, it's a small price to pay compared to dealing with a roof that leaks in the middle of January. If you're handy, small fixes like sealing minor cracks or reattaching a loose shingle can be done with a bit of roofing cement. But if you see larger problems, sagging spots, missing sections, or any signs of rot, it's time to bring in the professional. And one more quick tip. While you're up there looking, check around vents, skylights, and all the chimneys too. Those areas often take the most abuse from snow and ice. Get those repairs done before the snow piles up. Once everything's frozen, even small jobs can become much more complicated and a lot more expensive. So, a little attention now can mean a warm, dry, and worry free winter later on. All right, since we're already looking up, let's talk about your gutters because these little guys don't get nearly enough credit. Your gutters are basically the unsung heroes of your home's drainage system. Their whole job is to collect the rainwater and melting snow from the roof and direct it safely away from your foundation. When they're working properly, you don't even think about them. But when they're clogged, that's when the trouble starts. Here's what happens. If your gutters are full of leaves, pine needles, or other debris, water can't flow through properly. Instead, it overflows and runs down the side of your house and can seep in places you don't really want it, like your basement or the space around your foundation. And in the winter, when that water freezes, you can end up with ice buildup, icicles, or even something called ice dams. An ice dam happens when your heat from your attic melts the snow on your roof. That melted water runs under the edge, refreezes, and then traps more water behind it. And guess where that water goes? Right under your shingles. And where else? Into your ceiling. It's one of those issues that sounds small, but can cause a world of damage if you're not careful. So before the snow hits, grab a ladder, or better yet, hire someone who's comfortable on a ladder and clean out those gutters. Scoop out the leaves, run a bit of water through your hose, and make sure it's flowing freely down the downspouts. While you're at it, check that the downspouts are pointing away from the house by at least a couple of feet. You can even pick up inexpensive extensions at the hardware store to help push that water even away farther from your foundation. You don't want that water accumulating near your foundation. If you want to take it a step further, you can install gutter guards to keep debris from building up again. They're not essential, but they can definitely make your life easier in the long run. It's one of those simple chores that nobody loves doing, but trust me, it's worth it. A few hours of gutter cleaning in the fall can save you thousands of dollars in water or foundation damages later. So take care of those gutters right now. Your roof, your siding, and your basement will thank you for it once the winter rolls in. Now that we've covered the roof and your gutters, let's move a little lower and talk about your siding because it's basically your home's jacket for the winter. Take a slow walk around your house and look closely at the siding and your trim. Are there any cracks, holes, or areas where paint is starting to peel or bubble? Even a tiny opening can let cold air and moisture sneak in. And once that happens, you could be looking at drafts, higher heating bills, or even water damage behind the walls without you even knowing it. If you spot a small crack, no big deal. Grab some clear exterior caulking and seal them up. For paint issues, you can touch up those areas before it gets too cold. But if you notice a bigger section of peeling paint, wood rot, or warping, that might be a sign it's time to bring in a professional. Think of it like giving your home a warm coat and making sure there aren't any holes before the winter hits. Next up, weather stripping. This is one of those small fixes that makes a huge difference. Stand near your doors and windows. Do you feel a little cold draft coming through? Can you see the daylight around the edges? That's your heat literally escaping outside and your money going right along with it. Replacing weather stripping is simple and affordable. You can pick up rolls of foam strips or any hardware store, and it usually takes a few minutes to install. You'll immediately feel the difference. It's one of those quick wins that can make your home feel cozier and actually lower your heating costs. And if you want to go the extra mile, use a door sweep at the bottom of the exterior doors. That's another spot where the cold loves to sneak in. Okay, let's talk about the heart of your home in the winter. It's your heating system. Your furnace is about to put in some serious overtime, so give it a little attention before the cold weather hits. Most furnace manufacturers recommend a professional inspection at least once a year, and fall is the perfect time to do it. A licensed HVAC technician will clean the system, check for leaks or worn parts, and make sure everything's running safely and efficiently. That's especially important if your furnace is a few years older. And here's another quick tip you've probably heard many times. Change your furnace filter. It's something so many people forget about, but it affects both the air quality and how well the system runs. A clean filter helps your furnace breathe and keeps your home's air fresh. If you haven't already, this might also be a good time to upgrade to a smart thermostat. You can set it to lower the temperature while you're out or while you're sleeping and warm up the house before you get home. Smart, efficient, and it can save you money all winter long. If you're lucky enough to have a fireplace, you already know how nice it is on a nice snowy evening. But before you light that first fire, make sure your chimney is clear and safe. Have it inspected and cleaned by a professional chimney sweep at least once a year. Over time, soot and creosote can build up, and that can become a serious fire hazard. A clean chimney means better airflow, safer fires, and that perfect cozy vibe when you need it the most. Let's head back outside before it gets a little too cold and look up again. This time, we're looking at your trees. Branches hanging over your house or power lines can become dangerous once they're heavy with snow or coated in ice. A quick trim before winter helps protect your roof, your siding, and even your windows. And if you've got any dead trees or big limbs that look unstable, it's worth calling a professional arborist to take a look. One strong windstorm and that branch could become a very expensive surprise. Now let's look at something that's often overlooked: safety. When the clocks change at the end of daylight savings time, use that as your reminder to check all your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. Replace the batteries and test them to make sure they're actually working. If you don't already have one, get a carbon monoxide detector, especially if you have gas appliances or a fireplace. And make sure you have a fire extinguisher handy close by. If yours is older than 10 years, it's time for a new one. These are small steps, but they make a big difference in keeping your family safe throughout the winter months. Before the snow flies, do a quick inventory of your winter gear. Make sure you have your rock salt, ice melt, shovels, and maybe even a little extra windshield washer for your car. If you use a snowblower, check that it's working and that you have the fuel ready. I always try to get it running early enough. It's a lot easier to take care of it when it's cooler than when it's freezing cold outside. If there are issues with it, you can bring it in for a quick tune-up and avoid those long delays. You'll be ready for that first snowfall. These are all kinds of things that are easy to forget until the first big snowfall. And by then, everyone else is running to the store as well. Be the person that's ready early. Here is a quick but important one. Turn off and drain your outdoor faucets. Make sure you detach all of your garden hoses. Drain any remaining water and store them indoors. Then shut off the valve inside your house that controls the outdoor taps. Even if you have one of those frost-free faucets, it's a good idea to drain them as well. Better safe than sorry. If you leave water in those lines, it can freeze and expand, and that can cause your pipes to burst. A 5-minute job now can save you hundreds, even thousands in repairs later. Now let's take a walk in your basement. Look for any cracks in the walls or floors. Even small ones can let in moisture, and that can lead to bigger problems once the ground freezes. If you spot any gaps, seal them up with a masonry or concrete sealant. It's a small fix that helps keep your basement dry and your home warmer overall. Now, for those of you who head south for the winter, first of all, lucky you. But before you go, make sure your home is ready to stay safe while you're away. Here's what to do. Turn your thermostat down as low as possible, just enough to keep things from freezing. Turn off and drain your water heater. Keep the electricity on so your lights and security systems can still function. And set a few lights on timers so the house looks like it's occupied. Unplug appliances you won't be using, like your microwave, TV, or even your dryer. If possible, ask a neighbor or friend to check on the house every week or so. A quick look around can catch small issues before they become big ones. So there you have it, your full checklist for getting your home ready for the winter here in Ottawa. None of these tasks are complicated or expensive, but they make a huge difference. A few hours of preparation in the fall can save you from expensive repairs like frozen pipes, sleepless nights in the middle of winter. Think of it as giving your home a little bit of TLC before the toughest season of the year. If you would like a copy of my winter home preparation checklist, click on the link below. I've added it in the description. You'll be able to take a look at it. And remember, if you are thinking of selling in the next few months, this is also the perfect time to get your home in top shape before the spring market. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you found it helpful, feel free to share it, hit the thumbs up, and don't forget to drop a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more straight talk on real estate. I will see you in the next video, but in the meantime, if you have any questions about getting your house ready for winter or ready to sell, make sure to give me a quick call, or you can always email me at jeanricher@jeanricher.com. Merci beaucoup et bonne journée.